on. The attacks and retaliation continue. Lawmakers are also preparing to vote on a war powers resolution that would limit the president's authority to carry out more strikes without congressional approval. It is unlikely to pass. And the Apostolic Nuncio to Kuwait has said a long war would benefit no one in a region already under strain. Archbishop Eugene Nugent told Vatican Radio that the situation is getting progressively worse. He said that he and his fellow priests have been encouraging each other and the faithful to be safe and to pray. For more news with a Catholic perspective, visit EWTNnews.com. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Hi there and welcome. It is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and, of course, you on EWTN Radio. I am Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani, and we have the show team in place today. They always do a great job. Today our call screener is Matt Gabensky. Our producer is Michael McCall, and on social media is Rich Jesse, and we look forward to hearing from you today on the program. We have a topic, Debbie, I think that is going to really resonate with the listeners today.
I completely agree, Jerry. And here is the question. Who are you most looking forward to seeing again in heaven? So who are you looking forward to seeing again in heaven? This is a really wonderful, and I think it's going to bring a lot of emotion up for a lot of people. And, you know, tell us that special person or many people that you look forward to when you can have that time in that heavenly bliss to be together again and to have that family reunion, right, of sorts. So we want to know who it is for you. And here is the number, just like Jerry said. Matt is ready, willing, and able to answer your call, and he does such a fine job at it at 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
Well, being people of faith, we hope that you are. Sometimes we have non-believers listen to the show who are just curious and kind of tuning in to see what's being talked about. But as men and women of faith, we do believe that there is more to eternity than just this life. Obviously, we look forward to being in heaven with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who suffered and died and rose again for our salvation. We're right in the middle of the Lenten season, heading for the Easter celebration. So we look forward to hearing from you today. Who are you most looking forward to seeing again in heaven? This could be a beloved spouse. It could be maybe you've lost a child, maybe a friend, a relative, a neighbor, a coworker. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And as always, this is a great opportunity. Debbie's got the prayer book ready. So we can certainly, if maybe these individuals that you're going to bring up on the show today are not yet in the prayer book. So we'll put them in the Take Two prayer book, and that means global prayers for them each and every day. So please join us at 833-288-3986.
So who are you looking forward to seeing again? If God willing, you get to heaven and they are in heaven and you have that beautiful embrace where you're like, oh, I'm so glad to see you again. And you're for all of eternity, right? And it's just beautiful. So can you just envision that with us and share with us by calling 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And we always love first-time callers. So if you hear the sound of our voices, if you hear Jerry's voice or my voice, please, we are live today. We are accepting your calls. We ask the questions and we put forth the topics, and you take it away with your lived experiences. You're helping other souls today. And I just want to say this because we have brand new listeners each and every time we do this show. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. If you do hear us, you're part of the Take Two family. So please step up and dial this number, 833-288-3986.
All right. Well, we know St. Paul writes in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, he says, "But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, about those who have died, so that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope." at that time of St. Paul. And even right now, unfortunately, it's a sad reality in our world that a lot of people have lost loved ones or friends or family members, and they do not have that hope of eternal life, the resurrection and eternal life. But we do. We have that hope, and it's a solid anchor that we can hold on to. So who is it that you would like to, can't wait to see again in heaven? 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Debbie, we've got calls screened already. What do you think?
We do. Let's move to the calls right away. You guys are really thinking big and thinking for eternity. I love that. So Cassandra, you're up first and from Bloomington, Indiana on WOMB. Hello, Cassandra. Thank you so much for calling.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Well, I just wanted to weigh in. I am most excited to see my grandmother on my father's side. I don't even remember her name, her first name. I think her middle name was Rose, but she's always just been Ma to me, M-A, Ma. Ma was a Cape Verdean woman who lived in New England, Massachusetts, near the Cape Cod area, and she raised 12 children,
Wow.
All in the Catholic faith. She was just a weapon in the community as far as being a woman of faith, raising children, 11 of which were adopted, by the way.
Wow.
She only had one child by herself, but I never got to talk to her, as I got older, as she died when I was very young. But I just remember the absolute love that she had for me. And I just remember, being so close to her as a little girl and listening to her voice. She lives now through the stories and the love all of her children had for her. She turned, her heavenly birthday was on March 1st. She turned 107 years old.
Wow.
Born in 1919. But she just truly was a wonderful woman. I truly just want to be exactly like her, somebody of faith, somebody who shares my faith, somebody who really holds down her community, holds down her family. And she lived through the Great Depression. She lived through World War II. She really, there is so much history in her and in all of her stories.
Wow, Cassandra, thanks for being first up here on the show because, as Debbie said, the phone lines are really filling up here because a lot of people want to honor somebody. And your grandmother Rose, or as she said, Ma, I like the way you said she was a weapon in the faith. I absolutely love that description of her. And what a beautiful, generous, giving, selfless soul. 12 children, but 11 adopted. I mean, it is one thing to bring 12 of your own children into the world, but to take in all those other children and give them a loving home and happiness and peace and joy. What an amazing woman. You know what? I can say this with confidence. I look forward not only to seeing my loved ones in heaven, Cassandra, but I look forward to seeing your Ma as well because she sounds like an amazing, amazing woman. Thank you, Cassandra, for getting us started here on this great conversation on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We have an open phone line. Please join us. Who is it you're most looking forward to seeing in heaven?
Tomorrow morning on the Sunrise Morning Show.
We'll continue our series with Gary Zimak on giving up worry for Lent. We'll also get more reflections on Introduction to Devout Life by St. Francis de Sales with Deacon Nathan Beiersdorfer, and catch up with canon lawyer Father Philip Michael Tangora. Plus news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more. Hope you can join us.
The Sunrise Morning Show, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Teresa Tomeo and Italy's Shrines and Wonders. Catholics who visit the beautiful Umbrian town of Orvieto are, of course, seeking to be close to the famous Eucharistic miracle of Bolsena that is housed in the dramatic cathedral that towers majestically over this hilltop town. In addition to praying inside the chapel of the miracle, pilgrims will do themselves a great disservice spiritually if they fail to walk across to the other side of the Duomo, where they can spend time pondering the fantastic frescoes in Luca Signorelli's Last Judgment in the Sambrizio Chapel. After all, it was Michelangelo himself, the artist responsible for the Sistine Chapel, who spent 3 months here studying the paintings before beginning his work on his famous Last Judgment scene at the Vatican.
Italy's Shrines and Wonders by Teresa Tomeo is available now at EWTNRC.com.
Okay, we're asking the question today, who are you most looking forward to seeing again in heaven? That's the question today for the Take Two family, and Cassandra did a great job answering about her grandmother, and she just beautifully described the details of her grandmother's life and how she wanted to be so much, and she wants to be so much like her grandmother and a great role model for her in faith. So this is wonderful, and we need to hear from you. She did free a phone line just for you, so you can share and experience that great longing for seeing those loved ones again in heaven, and how wonderful that's going to be at 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And before we get back to the phones, Jerry, I just wanted to share about Church Pop and the emails you can receive from Church Pop in your inbox. So Church Pop takes a fresh and fun look at the news shaping our world, featuring just engaging topics, and there goes my screen, so hold on one second. Church Pop has engaging, inspiring, and informative Catholic social media content. So you can find it on Snapchat, Instagram, and on the web at churchpop.com. And here's the cool part, and this is what I get every single morning, and I love it. You can get Church Pop directly in your email inbox. All you have to do is visit churchpop.com and click subscribe.
Beautiful. All right. Who wants that last remaining open phone line? We actually have a couple of them there. 833-288-EWTN. 833-288-3986. All of us can say we look forward to seeing, of course, Jesus and Mary and Joseph and our patron saints and many of the saints when we get to heaven. But what about someone you knew in this life here on earth who has gone on to their eternal reward? Who is someone you really loved, you admired, you respected, you looked up to, they blessed you and gave you, filled you with love, and you can't wait to see them again in heaven? Who is that for you? 833-288-3986. Okay, Carol is in northeastern Pennsylvania listening on the EWTN app today. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Well, I think Ken, I'm not going to cry. Ken, my husband, I miss him so much. He always called me his queen. Yeah, and my parents, of course, Carl and Ann. I almost said Carlo. Carl and Ann. They were just super wonderful people, and I miss them as well. And of course, my aunts and uncles, but mainly my parents and Ken. Yes.
Oh, okay. So I do have to say something, because I knew this was going to get emotional, Carol, because as we think of the loved ones that we miss so very, very much, and we think about them again, we do think of those beautiful names that they called us, right? And there are significant pet names for each other, and it's so beautiful. And so, Carol, as you said that about Ken, that he always called you his queen, I just immediately, this is the way my mind works. I could just picture this a man waiting for his wife with a crown in his hands, and him saying, "There she is, my queen is coming." So you know what? I think it's quite beautiful, and I think we should think like that. We should dream like that, because that'll get us on the right path to get home to the Lord. And I just think, Carol, thank you for sharing from your heart like that, because I think it got us all thinking in a deeper way. What do you say, Jer?
Well, my mind goes to Jesus and the church. You know, Jesus is, of course, the bridegroom, and the church is his bride, and he laid down his life for his queen, really, when you think about that.
Yeah.
And So I really absolutely love what you were describing there, Carol, about your husband calling you his queen. And really, St. Paul talks about how a husband should treat his wife as well. And it sounds like you really you won the husband lottery, Carol, it sounds like, with Ken. He sounds like he was a great man. And, of course, your parents as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Carol,
Well,
you're
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah.
You've got a big heart. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us. And we've got everybody, we've got Ken and Carl and Ann and you in the book, in the prayer book. So thank you, Carol, for really sharing. Wow, this is why I love the Take Two family. Now, before we get back to the phones, Carol's going to free a phone line, Jerry. We are getting the Take Two family members that they want us to participate, which we probably should have done in the first segment as we were introducing the topic. So, Jerry, I'll ask you first. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I talk about the three family members that I've lost, both of my parents, and, I never knew my dad that well, so I really look forward to seeing him again in heaven and getting to know who this man was who helped to bring me into the world, and my mother, and, of course, my beloved late sister Mary, and then my all-time best friend, Harvey, who is with the Lord now. I'm very confident of that, and he I wouldn't be sitting here today and where I am today in life. He was so supportive of my ministry, and I wouldn't be here today without him, so you knew him, and so many people did.
Loved him.
What a beautiful soul he was. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That was beautiful. I knew you were going to say Mary. Okay, so of course my mom and dad. I mean, I can't wait to see my mom again. I have a big picture of her in my home. I say hi to her every morning. So I definitely, I was very close to my mother. I can't wait to see her again. I would love to see my brother-in-law again, Doug, my husband's brother, who was killed, shot and killed when he was working by somebody just driving and I don't know, having an anger burst. And so my brother-in-law, Doug, I would love to see him again. We never really got to play that round of golf, so maybe we'll get to play that round of golf in heaven, and friends. I've lost a lot of friends. My friend Jackie, remember we prayed for Jackie for so long. And I just, I'm like Carol. I get very emotional. I can't wait to see them all again and just say, hey, we did it. We made it, and that's going to be a glorious reunion. So, okay, so we shared. The Take Two family asked us to share. Now you guys got to continue. So we'll go to Peggy. Peggy's in New Jersey on Sirius XM 130. That's the way Peggy is listening. Welcome, Peggy.
Oh, thank you, Debbie. I have a little bit different take on this question, and it's because I was talking about this morning with another person. I had 3 miscarriages. I have 1 live child, a wonderful son, but I would like to know those 3 children. I know 1 was a boy. I don't know. 2 were kind of early miscarriages, so I don't have any idea.
Yeah, I can tell you this, and this is so important, Peggy. I can tell you this. We've done many shows on miscarriages and people who have lost children, and I can tell you that is a parent's desire to meet those children. And I personally do believe that our God is going to provide that opportunity for us who make it to heaven. I really do. What do you say, Jerry?
I do too, and that's just very beautiful. We're so sorry about the miscarriages that you had, Peggy. We've done shows on this as well, and it's obviously it pains a lot of people, and it's very common. I know my sister-in-law had 1 miscarriage, and some very good friends of mine miscarried a child, so we're sorry for those losses. But yes, I know, I agree with Debbie. I know that God is going to give you that opportunity, and it's going to be a joyous, it's going to be a joyous occasion for you, and that is certainly what we will pray for, Peggy. And I know that Debbie has these intentions and these beautiful souls already in our prayer book.
I do. Peggy, anything else you wanted to share with us?
Well, I had birth parents that I never met. So, I mean, I don't want to disrespect all the people I love and will be happy to reunite with, but I just happen to be thinking along this other way this morning just because of a conversation. So, it'd be interesting to meet my birth mother and birth father. I had wonderful parents growing up and I would never give them up, but I would like to meet the others too.
Certainly.
So I hope we're all up there.
Yeah, we do too. That's why we do Catholic radio. Everybody's trying to travel in the same direction to get home back to God, right, Peggy?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Beautiful. Wow. Great call. Thank you so much, Peggy. God bless you. Thank you for sharing. I've got everybody in the prayer book, and all your intentions are and private and personal intentions too for anybody that calls in today, Jerry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, and we know too, from the book of Revelation, chapter 21, God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, mourning, crying, or pain in heaven. So we can be certain that whoever it is that we look forward to seeing, Debbie, it's going to be joyous, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, and it will never end. That's the really cool thing about this. We think about sometimes there's a lot of songs talk about, I'd like another day with you, just one more day. Well, we will have that day, but it will be an unending day. The sun will never set on that one more day that we will have with those we've loved in this life.
You know what I love about that? It's like a perpetual family reunion, and the great news is you'll never gain weight. That'll be awesome. It's just one big fun feast. I love it.
The burgers won't be overcooked or anything.
Yeah. No cleanup too. You don't have to clean up anything. Okay, Kathy, first time caller in Smith Falls, Ontario, Canada. Sirius XM 130 is the way you're listening. Hi, Kathy. Welcome.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you, and Jerry. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I would like to meet my mom and dad, to see my mom and dad again, and my nanny Booty. Her actual name was Dorothy, but we called her Nanny Booty.
Oh, I love that, Nanny Booty. I love that. Did she knit or something? Did she knit?
No. It was because when she was a little girl, her baby sister, I guess her father all the time called her my beauty, and her younger sister couldn't say beauty, and it came out booty.
Oh,
so
that is precious.
It was Annie Booty, yeah. But and they were all faith-filled people, and I thank God, the faith was passed on to me, and in turn to my children too, and I miss them every day, and just am really looking forward to being with them again, and I hope that can happen. I pray every day for them.
For sure. Well, it's funny because this is how so many nicknames get applied to people, and yeah, Kathy, and your mom and dad, that sounds good. My mother's name was Dorothy as well, like your Nanny Booty. So, we'll have them all in the prayer book here, and definitely going to be praying for them and that wonderful reunion with you. You mentioned too that they handed on the faith to you. This is the thing. We really owe so much to those people in our lives who not only brought us into the world, gave us life in cooperation with the Lord, but who handed the faith on to us so that we have this hope, Debbie, to look forward to spending eternity with those that we love.
Well, and Kathy and Jerry, if somebody's listening right now and they're listening to this broadcast and they're saying, what are they talking about? How do we know we're going to have this family reunion? How do we know we're going to see these loved ones again? Well, if you even talk to a few hospice workers, right, or hospice nurses, they will tell you that at the those that are have the faith and those that are ready to die, they'll say stories, and we've heard them, right, Jerry? So many of the stories of people saying they've already seen their loved ones before they get ready to pass, before they get ready to die, and then the loved ones come already to start celebrating and welcoming that person into glory, into eternity. I mean, so we and private revelation. So many of the saints have visited heaven and have visited purgatory and have also seen hell. So we know these are realities that we need to really start to actually think about the future of that. And I think shows like this really help us keep that hope and keep that focus. What do you say, Jer?
No, I agree completely. Kathy, anything else?
Just that actually today would have been my mom and dad's 64th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. What timing.
I put that in the book. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
And God bless you both.
God bless you, too.
You,
Thanks for being a first-time caller, and we hope that you will take the opportunity to call the show again anytime. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. It's your show on EWTN Radio. Today we're asking the question, who do you look forward most to seeing in heaven? Again, 833-288 EWTN 833-288-3986, and we'll add them to our prayer book if they're not already in there. And we'll go to Peggy next in South Carolina, listening today on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Peggy. Thanks for waiting. Welcome.
Yes, I'm the other Peggy, but I'm from South Carolina.
Yeah, right. Thanks for calling.
But, I really love this, and I hadn't thought about my little baby I lost probably, 50 years ago. And I can't wait to see her or him. And my mom lived to be 99, but she wasn't really my mom for quite a few years before that. So I'm so anxious to see her. And I've been thinking about her and my lovely dad because I think about them so often. Oh, my mom, let me ask her about my relatives, or she made this dish. How do I fix it? So I am just, I'm missing them, and I can't wait to see my dear mother who loved the Blessed Mother so much and pass the faith on to me, and that little baby that would be 50 years old.
Oh, Peggy. Well, that little baby that would be 50 years old is probably with your mom and dad right now. So probably listening, we hope, to this broadcast. So they're probably smiling, going, "That's our Peggy." So, yeah, that's beautiful. I love the way you think, Peggy. It's just wonderful, and we expand, right? We expand our thinking when we think about eternity, and I love that. And so I love episodes like this. I agree with you, Peggy, and that's why Jerry and I put it on the calendar, because we wanted to do this and explore this together. So, Peggy, you're awesome. I've got your whole family in the prayer book, okay?
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you too.
Don't you love when we have like two Peggies or two Marys, or like the other? What we have one time? We had like the same name like 4 times.
It
it's
happens
amazing.
often, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what that's all about. We're going to have to find that out when we get to heaven, if we get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she mentioned that she thinks about, her mom and dad and this baby that she lost 50 years ago. Thinks about them all the time. And, we all do that. We think about these people. We pray for them. Hopefully you pray for all those you've known in this life and who have gone on to whatever their eternal reward is. And we're asking you today, which of those people, or maybe more than one, do you most look forward to seeing again in heaven? Answer that question today. 833-288-EWTN. 833-288-3986. Bill is next, then Ron and Linda and you on EWTN's Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie.
2026 is a Jubilee year in recognition of the 800th anniversary of the passing of St. Francis of Assisi, and the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament at Our Lady of the Angels Monastery in Huntsville, Alabama, has been designated as a site where pilgrims have the opportunity to obtain a plenary indulgence for themselves or a soul in purgatory. To learn more, please visit olamshrine.com/Jubilee.
This is Life Issues with Victor Nieves, president of Life Issues Institute.
There's a dangerous lie circulating that if abortion is illegal, women will be imprisoned for having a natural miscarriage. That claim simply is not true. No woman in the history of the United States has ever been charged and convicted for simply experiencing a miscarriage. The media often cites cases involving other crimes, like improper disposal of a body, drug-related offenses, abuse of a corpse, never the miscarriage itself. That's because miscarriage is not a crime. The last thing that those who have suffered a miscarriage need is to be lied to. Women who lose pregnancies are not going to jail. On our website, lifeissues.org, we've researched and refuted each false example that the media has presented and shown no woman is imprisoned for miscarriage.
Follow us on social media at Life Issues Institute.
Deepen your understanding of the Eucharist and see the Mass and Eucharistic adoration in a whole new way. Sign up for the free EWTN Learn series at EWTN.com/Eucharistic Devotion today.
Matt Swaim here. Tomorrow on the Sunrise Morning Show, we'll continue our series with Gary Zimak on giving up worry for Lent, plus all the latest news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more. Now back to Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie. We're
taking a little stroll down memory lane today and looking ahead to eternity. Yeah, on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Who are you most looking forward to seeing again in heaven? As Debbie mentioned at the start of the show, maybe you weren't listening at that point. Maybe you've just joined us. We don't canonize people except the saints who are canonized, but we have that great hope that the Bible so much talks about, and Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. And we do believe in eternity, and those of faith, those who die in the state of grace and in God's friendship, we can and we should look forward to seeing again when we get to heaven. We don't stop praying for them on that journey that they're on, but we hope that we will join them there in eternity in heaven. And who is that for you? Who really left their mark on your life here on earth, and you can't wait to see him or her again in heaven? 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And as promised, let's go to Bill. He is in Dallas, the one in Georgia, listening on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Bill. Thanks for calling in today.
Hello. How are you all doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I just happen to be driving and listen. I listen to you guys 100% of the time, it seems like, when I'm driving. So
thanks, Bill.
Definitely wanted to say that my beautiful wife, Patricia Ann Gang O'Halloran, she passed away June 14th of 2023. I miss her every day, but she was such a loving, oh man, I miss her. And I just want to say that she meant so much to me, and her brother was my best friend, is my best friend, and that's how I met her, like when I was like 8 years old or something. But she went through one marriage, and our oldest son is from her first marriage. He's my son, you know. Mm-hmm. And then we, because of my wife Pat and I trying to have kids, we lost Timothy stillborn back in October '98, and then 10 months later we lost James via like a miscarriage. He was like 8 inches long, but she was so strong, and she said, "Hey, why don't we become foster parents?" Mm-hmm. And we wound up taking in a few kids, and then we wound up adopting 2 brothers, 2 Vietnamese brothers, and we were so blessed, you know. And it was all because of my beautiful wife Pat, you know.
Aww. Oh, that is wonderful. What a big heart that Pat has. And I just love that. And so 2023, I mean, that's not too long ago that she passed, Bill. So I'm sure that's why you're, you know, really still, you know, can still be in, you know, somewhat of a grieving process, because that's not too long ago. So anything else you can share with us about her personality, her faith? I mean, she obviously had a big heart to take in, you know, wonderful foster kids, but what else can you share about, how about your relationship, Bill, to help other couples that are thinking about getting married or that are married, and maybe they're thinking, I want my husband or I want my wife to talk about me the way Bill is talking about Patricia.
Well, I could just say that she had so much love. She was from a large family. She was the oldest of 7 kids. And she was sort of like helped at the house. I was always down at the house with her brother, and making food and just having fun. And their parents always had like parties and stuff like that. You know, just bringing all the neighborhood kids together and stuff like that. But it's just the love of her heart that really probably attracted me to her. Mm-hmm. And you know that's sort of like an angel on earth. You know, that's the best way I can describe her, you know, and that transcended into our oldest son and the 2 boys, Tony and Tommy, who we adopted. And, you know, that's, you know, and I pray every day thanking God for her, and I talk to her every day that I can, you know, just kind of, hey, how you doing? I hope everything's going well. And when God calls me, hopefully he pairs me up with you.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's in the funeral liturgy where it says, you know, death, life is not ended, it's just changed. And so those who are in heaven with the Lord on that journey toward heaven, you know, we can definitely talk to them and have those conversations and really ask them for their prayers, because they can pray for us. And as you were mentioning, Bill, you know, she was the oldest of 7 kids. I mean, when you're from a large family, you learn magnanimity of heart. You know, you learn generosity, especially if you're the oldest or one of the first kids in a large family of children, because you almost become, in a sense, sort of a mentor and a leader and an example for the other kids. And just the way you've described, Patricia is just absolutely beautiful. I love what you said. The love of her heart is what attracted you. And that's just a great lesson for all of us, I think, Bill and Debbie, because love is attractive and love draws people to itself. And Bill, that's exactly what happened to you with Pat.
I totally agree. Bill, we have your whole entire family in the prayer book. And thank you so much, sir, from sharing from your heart. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thanks,
Beautiful call. Okay, before we get to Ron, our dear friend Ron in LA, because Ron is on YouTube, Jerry, please wave to everyone on social media. I just wanted to remind everyone, be sure to check out the new EWTN YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on subscribe. There's great Catholic content added every day. So let's welcome Ron back to the program from LA. He always has wonderful things to share. Ron, take it away.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, Ron, are you with us? Okay, I don't hear Ron. Do you hear Ron?
I do not hear Ron, but
okay,
I'm sure
maybe
he's there.
Yeah. Maybe we can ask Matt to pick up the phone, because we do want to hear what Ron has to say. But in the meantime, Jerry, let's go to Linda. Linda's in Atlanta, Georgia on Sirius XM 130. That's the way Linda's listening. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Thank you for calling, Linda. Go right ahead. Who is that you most look forward to seeing when you get to heaven? Are you there, Linda? Are we having?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Okay, go right ahead. Please share with us.
Okay. My parents were killed in an ambulance accident. It happened in 1983. And my dad was 61. My mom was 59. My dad was being transported in the ambulance because he had bleeding ulcers, and he was going from one hospital to the VA hospital. He was a veteran, and the ambulance, it was pouring down rain. The ambulance hydroplaned and crossed the median, hit another car, came back over, rolled over, and burst into flames. And because he was on oxygen, it fueled the fire.
Oh, no.
Yes, and so they were both killed instantly. I was 35 at the time. I'm the third of 4 children. My younger sister was only 25. And it's heartbreaking that we didn't get to say goodbye, and all the things that have happened in life that they've missed out on. And the fact that my dad had a nervous breakdown in the military, I believe it was the Korean War, and life with him was very tough, and I'm anxious to see him again in heaven when he's healthy and normal and can give him a big hug.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. And you said so many very poignant things there, among them, the things that they have missed out on. And, we're just so sorry, Linda, about this. I know Debbie's got your parents, both of them in the prayer book. But one thing I just wanted to say, and, you mentioned no chance to say goodbye. And that pains my heart whenever I think that, people who lose loved ones and you don't get that moment. Everyone that I've mentioned on this show that I can't wait to see again in heaven, I actually was, except for my mother, I did get a chance to say goodbye to her, but I wasn't with her. I was with the other ones when they died. But, I just really believe it's going to make that hello that much sweeter when we get to heaven. I think we can pray for that, when we didn't get that moment to say goodbye, I'll see you on the other side. But, hopefully, God willing, and I do believe in my heart, Debbie and Linda, that when we finally get to say that hello once again, it's going to be that much sweeter and that much more joyful.
I totally agree. Linda, my heart was aching as you were telling this story about your parents. I'm so sorry that you and your sister had to go through that at a young age. You guys were young. Linda, do you feel comfortable giving us their first names? I got your whole family in the prayer book.
Yes, James and Anna, A-N-N-A. And I also want to lift up in prayer my sister Kim, who's was 25 when they were killed. She went on to have a child that died before her 3rd birthday. Her name is Caitlin, K-A-I-T-L-I-N.
Oh, you guys have had a lot of really traumatic loss. I mean, that's got to be hard. How did you cope, Linda? Can you share with us? How did you cope through all that?
Well, it was very difficult. My faith kept me going. I was married at the time, and my husband was a very selfish man, and I was left with having to go through their home and clear out everything. And he would say things to me like, "What am I supposed to have for supper? You're going to stop over there again?" And then I would bring home boxes of stuff, and he said, "How much more of this stuff are you going to bring home?" And I said, "I have to go through this stuff. Some of it I just can't look at right now, but I have to." There was a lawsuit against Ford Motor Company for the ambulance bursting that the strap that held the gas tank is what caused the fuel to feed the fire. And so I didn't have his support. And the only thing that has gotten me through is my faith. I'm a devout Catholic, and so is my sister, my two sisters, and my brother. We still pray for. I think he has faith, but he isn't a practicing Catholic or any church, actually.
I'm so sorry that you went through this unbelievable and painful event in your life and your family's life, and then to have that lack of support at home. I mean, again, my heart just aches for you. But Linda, you nailed it. You know, you were sustained by your faith. You were tight with God, and that's what's going to carry you back home to the Father. So, you know, God bless you for staying strong and staying faithful, Linda.
Thank you. I have my days.
I know, we all do. But you know what, Linda? You did it, okay? You've been through the worst of the worst. And, you know, it's amazing how you hung on. So many people turn their back on God or get angry with God or walk away from the church or do whatever. Not you. You stayed strong. So you have to imagine that the good Lord will forever bless that, Linda. So thank you for sharing with us. I know this was painful to share, but we've got your whole family now. Now we get to know your family better thanks to you. So we appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you. I've been listening for a while, and some of the wonderful, poignant things you have said have really helped me as well.
Oh, praise God. Thank you, Linda. That's good to know, because Debbie and I never really know what we're going to say on this show. And really, the show is driven by you, Linda, you and the other Take Two family members. You know, you're the ones who call in and you share your lived experiences, your wisdom. You help one another. You lift each other up. So it's really, the listeners are the ones that you really owe it to, Linda. So we owe you a debt of gratitude for calling in today as well. Thank you so much for being part of today's conversation. We appreciate it greatly. That will open up a line. This is a great opportunity, and there's still time. If there is someone you would like to mention on the show that you look forward most to seeing again in heaven, who would that person be? 833-288 EWTN 833-288-3986, and we'll happily put them in the prayer book. And right before we check back in with Ron, I just want to mention the Fathers Know Best, Monday through Friday mornings at 4 a.m. Eastern Time on EWTN Radio. And they draw from the rich EWTN library and present to you great retreat teachings, also lectures and exclusive EWTN programs hosted by priests you know and trust, like Father Larry Richards, Father John Ricardo, Father Benedict Rochelle, and more. That's Fathers Know Best, weekday mornings, 4 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on your home for great Catholic radio, EWTN.
Beautiful. Okay, Mary, hang on, and the others, we're going to get back to Ron. Jerry, please wave again to Ron on YouTube. Hi, hey, Ron. Welcome.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me this time.
We can. Go right ahead. Yeah.
Hairy Legs did not want me on the air today. I was getting snap, crackle, and pop on my phone line, apparently.
Oh, boy.
Well, you're loud and clear now, Ron.
Well, I'm grateful for that. My head's pounding a little bit, but the gratitude and the people that I look forward to start with the list of the priests and religious and those who, in my early part of my life especially, helped me get on the path and stay on the path as much as possible on my way home. And at top of the list would be two particular priests. One is a priest named Father Thomas McLaughlin. He was the the pastor of my home parish when I was a youth, and became an altar server and so forth in that parish, and was fairly involved. Later down the line, when I ventured out and wandered away from the church and slowly came back, I met up with that same pastor in '94 when he had a stroke Easter of that year, ended up in hospice, and about 6 or 7 years later he was called home. But the next priest in that line would be Father Andrew Apostoli, who became a fast friend when we met at one of the conferences that I served at back in the 2005 and 9 cycle. And all the people that I've borne witness to, testimonies, and just the preaching that came out of EWTN from Mother Angelica to Scott Hahn and all the others, and especially even you two are in that list very much so when we meet on the other side. But I think the top of the list of who I want to meet on the other side is my guardian angel most of all. And I want to thank him for all the patience and the protection he's provided me throughout my lifetime of 65 years and going on.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it's funny. I through Debbie's great example, I have learned to pray to my guardian angel probably 20 to 30 times a day. And so I think that is going to be a great meeting. It's going to be an interesting one because my guardian angel is going to ask me why I put him to the test so many times. But Ron, that's absolutely beautiful. And thanks for sharing from your heart. We know what a beautiful relationship you had with Father Andrew Apostoli, God rest his soul, one of the Franciscan friars of the Renewal. And it sounds like Father Thomas McLaughlin was just an absolutely beautiful soul as well. It's beautiful that, you know, when you had wandered away from the faith, like you said, but when the appointed time for the Lord to bring you back came about, he came back into your life and was a part of that as well. So God rest his soul. I know Debbie's got him in the prayer book. And
yes, I do.
We've long had you and your parents and your whole family in the prayer book, Ron. So.
That was beautiful, Ron. Thank you so much, and I'm glad we got you back on air so you could share with all of the Take Two family. And take care, Ron. Take care of that headache. You said your head was pounding. So, okay, Jerry, I thought you did didn't you?
Oh, I did do that.
You did.
Right. I was gonna...
Jerry's like, wow. I'll do the next spotlight for our list. And I think you did that already.
Wow, short-term memory is really short today.
You know, we could blame it on our age. Why don't we just say that? We're in the senior category now.
I'm glad that I can now blame everything on my age.
I'm just glad I get $2 off at the movie theater now. Okay, let's go to Mary in Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania, listening on the EWTN app. Mary, you get our Virtual Patience Award today. We're sending it to you to Pennsylvania because you were so patient. Welcome.
Thanks, Debbie and Jerry. I love your show. Thanks. It's always an interesting show to listen to and be part of. But I guess the people that I would really love to see in heaven, of course, would be my parents, my mom and dad. I'm one of 11 children, and as raising 4 children of my own, I'm amazed of what a terrific job they did with all 11 of us, different personalities and stuff like that. But the one thing that I'm very grateful what they did give me was really my faith. They sent us to Catholic school, and we were raised by the Mighty Macs, and there were 2 particular nuns that I really loved that really, I guess, made me want to keep my faith. And the first one was my first grade teacher, well, actually second grade teacher, Sister Rose Julie, very sweet as can be. And then fast forward to 7th grade, Sister Regina Agnes, who was a very stern nun. Everybody was afraid of her, but we stopped every day 20 minutes before lunch and said the rosary, and she would love it if you would stay for the conversion of Russia. And being in 7th grade and, you know, not knowing much at the time, I would think, oh, there's no way that Russia's going to be converted. And then fast forward and, you know, down the road, we see, you know, everything that's happening in the world. So it really brought me to my faith in believing in the power of prayer. So anyhow, they're the 4 people that I would love to see, along, of course, with where we did have a child that was born early. She was anecephalic. So I'd love to see her, of course, and give her a big hug. And the last person would be Mother Mary.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I've got everybody in the book, but real quickly, Mary, can you give us your mom and dad's first name? Do you feel comfortable?
Sure. Helen and Tom.
Helen and Tom. Okay, so I've got everybody in the book. You know what? Please bear with me. It's Lent. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I just humor me for a minute, because just because you said you're one of 11, Mary, I just have to hear it. It just makes me smile, and it gives me such a bright time during the day. Can you run down your whole family first names, oldest to youngest, real quick, Mary?
Sure. Joe, Mark, Tommy, Lee, Michelle, John, Frank, Matt and I were twins. Patty and Megan.
Beautiful. You were twin? Wow.
We're twins. We're actually Irish triplets because my brother Frank was born in December. 5 days after us. So for 5 days we're the same age. So we went to school together, and then I had another brother in December above him, and he was, a grade ahead. So my mom kept them two back, and we the three of us hung out together.
Okay, that is amazing. See, we never would have known you were a twin because you did not disclose it until I had you go down the family. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I love it. What do you think, Jerry?
I'll tell you, I did.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I loved the. My heart broke for the previous caller before Ron, and I did love Ron's calling as well. So I'm really grateful for all the people that come and share their stories, because I'm in the car a lot. So it's fun to listen to and very rewarding.
Oh, thanks, Mary. We try to make this show, we often kind of describe it as just kind of sitting around a living room or near a fireplace and sipping a beverage or something, and just really talking about the things of life, because that's what we do during our lives anyway. When we're with the families and family members and friends, we talk about these sorts of things, and so we like to give you the opportunity to do that here on the show. So thank you, Mary. Great job listing all of your siblings. You should be able to do that by now. So thank you, Mary, and bless all those that you mentioned, Sister Rose Julie, Sister Regina Agnes, and your parents, and all are in the prayer book, Mary. Thank you so very, very much. We're going to go over to Frank in San Antonio, listening on the Guadalupe Radio Network. Frank, welcome to Take Two.
Yes, good day. Thank you for the topic. The person I look most forward to the most is the son I aborted 36 years ago. And we need to know not only the Catechism 2270, but behind every single abortion, there is a father who has lost the fatherhood and experienced that pain. A lot of people don't want to hear the man's voice in abortion. But once again, behind every abortion is a man. After denying it for almost 2 decades, and then reconciling and repenting for another decade, I found healing and atonement through our sacraments, spiritual direction, and there is a beautiful ministry in Dallas, Texas called Project Joseph. Project Rachel's for the women suffering loss of motherhood through abortion. Project Joseph is for fathers that have lost sons and daughters through abortion. And thank you for all you do.
Oh, Frank, thank you so much. Would you remind me again? I was trying to write down that paragraph from the Catechism. Which paragraph was it in the Catechism of the Catholic Church?
Paragraph 2270, that life begins at conception and ends at natural death.
Yes, amen, Frank. And we're sorry about what you've shared on the show. I'm sure has caused you great pain, but it sounds like you are at a beautiful place with that right now. And this is a great tribute to the transforming power of God's love, God's mercy, God's forgiveness, and God's grace. And so no matter where we've been in life, no matter what we've done, and we all make mistakes that we wish we hadn't made, but when we come to a place like it sounds like you are right now, Frank, we just rejoice with you in that. And Debbie's got, the unborn son that you had in the prayer book, as well as you, Frank, and all of your intentions will be lifted up in prayer every day.
And Frank, we have promoted and continue to promote Project Joseph out of Dallas, Texas. You're so spot on. And so we agree. The more awareness we have using the platforms that we have been given, we can really help other souls to that healing. So thank you so very much, Frank, for stepping up today. God bless you. That's beautiful. Yeah. Ooh, wow. We're not going to get to Ida. We're not going to get to Maria and the others, but we do have an unscripted at the end of March.
Yeah, we do. Near the end of every month is unscripted. So thank you all for making this just a really powerful conversation today, as you do every day on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Tomorrow, we're going to be to the creator of everything, and we can see God, his creating hand, his mighty, powerful hand in nature. So we want to hear from you. Is it crashing waves? Is it majestic mountains? Is it a glorious sunset or sunrise? Whatever it is, how do you see God in nature? That is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow on the program. In the meantime, we thank our show team today, Matt, Michael, and Rich. Great job. Take Two family, you guys always knock it out of the park, and you did so again today. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to being with you again tomorrow right here on EWTN Radio.
He captivates viewers with thought-provoking political and cultural reporting that resonates with Catholics and people of faith.
At least 20 Christians were killed in coordinated attacks in 2 Nigerian states. What is actually happening on the ground?